Hey yo, it's Mes Geo, the Prince of the 814, and this is my prospect interview.
All right.
All right, first question is who or what made you start rapping?
What made me start rapping was I was listening to Wiz Khalifa, Prince of the City 2, and Mac Miller Kids. And then I got into listening to Logic and Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. And those guys got me into starting writing rhymes when I was 16. So when I started to write more rhymes, I started listening to more of their music, and everything just came right there. So then when I went to college in 2017, a friend was like, yo, I got this mic and this studio app you can use, and it was on my laptop. So I started recording music from there, and I didn't get a lot of like views at the time, but people respected that I can actually rap and show everyone how I can do it. So after that, I started getting, the views and the plays that, I deserve. And then now I'm here being the prince of the city.
That's dope. So you mentioned J. Cole, Mac Miller, Logic, and some other artists. So if you could say it in no particular order, who was your top 5 artists?
My top 5 artists, I would say Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa, Logic, Kendrick, and it's between J. Cole and Eminem. Like, those guys really got me into having my top 5, because those ones actually express their feelings in the way how they rap, and I was like, yo, I want to do the same thing just like them.
All right, so you mentioned all those artists, and most of those artists have their own record label or something. So if you could be signed to any record label, what record label would you choose?
Man, I just had a conversation with somebody about this, but I said the only record label I would love to get signed to as of right now is probably Taylor Gang Entertainment. I want to get signed with Wiz Khalifa, Chevy Woods, Fed to God, 24 Hours, Young Desi, Burner. I want to get signed with them because their vibe of music is like my vibe, and I love their music. I love the way how they hustle, they grind, they do everything, and they're really low-key underrated when it comes down to making music, and a lot of people needs to check on Taylor Gang. And I always wanted to be a part of a Taylor Gang, and hoping one day I do get signed by Wiz Khalifa.
So you talked about like Wiz Khalifa, and he's like a big Pittsburgh rapper, and we don't live too far from Pittsburgh, but we're kind of like in a small city. So what are like some pros and cons of making music in a small city, specifically Johnstown?
Alright, so I would say the pros to it is that you're going to get a lot of people to recognize your music. You get a lot of people to listen, and they will definitely rock with you, and they will tell you if your music is trash or your music is fire. Because when I started, everybody told me my music was trash, but progressively over the years, people were telling me my music is getting better and better. And every time I drop a new song, they know that it came from the heart, it comes from the soul. And when people put these shows together in a small city, and you got teenagers and then young adults or older adults listening to your music, they can tell you that your music changed their lives, or the OGs or the old head can tell you that your music reminds them how it was back in the day when they were listening to music. So that's really good, because then you got a nice little fan base. You can put your music out there and have people listen to it. But the cons of it, the negative, is that you got a lot of people hating. You got a lot of people who's going to tell you what you can't say or what you can't do when it comes down to making music, because a lot of people have different opinions or different feelings.
All right. So one thing you were talking about was a lot of the shows and stuff these young kids are doing in the town. Like we have 4 or 5 rap showcases in like a 2-month period there.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is that you always show up to like everything, like at all like the studio parties and everything, all the recording sessions. You're always around, like supporting, and I feel like you have a lot of connections in Johnstown. Like when it comes to music, do you feel like outside of your own music, like your personality and just who you are as a person is what makes like attracts people to you, and once is a reason why people keep you around and stuff like that?
Most definitely, because like let's say like let's scrap the whole music thing. Let's scrap me being the prince of, you know, being Mes Geo for a second. Let me be Jimmy George. Let me be that guy that you know since like high school or middle school, and I always show love to that person. I never hate it. I never show no hate, unless the person has a reason for me to hate. But at the same time, I don't really love using the word hate, because that's like the biggest pet peeve for me, because I never have hate in my heart. It's like if you do something wrong, I will dislike you for it, but I just know down the road you can, you know, change. I know that you can become a better person. And that's why when it comes down for me to go to these shows or these studio parties or anything like that, I'm showing support to any artist or anybody who is there, because I want people to know that if they need somebody to have that support, they can always call me or text me and show me their music. They let me know if their music good or they need, you know, work on. I'll tell them. I will instantly give you criticism, and people do the same thing for me. So when it comes down to criticism and showing love and support, I'm always there. But at the same time, I had to worry about what is next for me at the same time. But I will love to help anybody from my hometown who's trying to make it in the music industry or trying to make it in general to become the next big thing. Because at the end of the day, we're all trying to become the best versions of ourselves.
So how long have you been making music?
I've been making music over 7 to 8 years.
All right. Do you remember what your first song was?
My first song, it was a freestyle called I'm On Freestyle. And shout out to Shay on Trade the Truth for, you know, the beat and everything. And I was just remember one day I was in the studio with some friends, and you know, I kind of was like joking around saying like, hey yo, I want to rap. And they were like, why? And I was like, well, I just want to rap. I just want to make music. And they were like, nah, you can't do it, bro. You can't do it. Like, all right, just throw me a beat and watch me kill it. And they were like, okay. So I did the song I'm On Freestyle, and people were like surprised that I killed the beat and freestyle. So all I can say is that since then that's been history for me to start making music.
All right, so we know your name is Mes Geo and you like to make music, but what are some things you like to do outside of music?
I love to draw. I love to I like to make TikTok videos, you know, to be funny, you know, have my funny side and my comedian side. I do love playing like old school vintage video games like Sonic, NBA Street Ball V3, Surf's Up, like you name it. I played a lot of these games when I was little. I kind of like to design a lot of stuff that I have. I want to start designing shoes like my own way, like paint them and everything. Yeah, and mostly I like to go on adventures. I like to go to different cities and, you know, feel the vibes out there. I like to go shopping sometimes at different malls and see what they have, and, you know, hang out with some friends. You know,
And I know you went to school in Pittsburgh, so how has Pittsburgh impacted you and your music?
Pittsburgh definitely helped me a lot. Shout out to my friends Shay and Dre. and my friend Day Day for giving me the opportunity to come up with a better sound and better ways to rap and make music. Because I was old school. I was always old school. I was always rapping on old school beats. I never rapped on nothing new until they came along and they showed me, I knew their style of rap. And ever since then, it became, you know, the biggest impact. I had people that I looked up to in Pittsburgh who was making music at the time. When, like, I would say Mac Miller's friends, Franchise, Beatty, John Quest, B. White, Mayo, Ghosty. Like, I didn't meet these guys, but I talked to them through Instagram and stuff. Just, just getting to know them and giving them, like, letting them giving me advice how to get better as a musical artist, how to get better as a rapper. And every single day I send them their music, well, my music, I mean, and let them hear it and let them know that I'm be the next guy and I want to do a song with them later down the road. And yeah, Pittsburgh definitely made a big impact in my life because it showed me what it's like to make music in a big city, and then Johnstown showed me what it's like to make music in a small city. So, and Pittsburgh's like my second home. It's like I love Pittsburgh, everything about it. So beautiful, and I hope one day I can do a show in Pittsburgh and get people to know who I am, like new people from Pittsburgh, and hoping that one day that does come into play.
So your most recent song you have that came out is called Weekend. So
Mm-hmm.
can you explain a little bit how you came up with the idea for that song?
Well, so shout out to Leo Rush for the song Weekend, because he made a song called Weekend and his vibe was cool. So when I came up with the song Weekend, so the song originally was supposed to be called Winning, but the way how I said the word weekend on the song made me keep it as a song Weekend. So like, we're partying on the weekend, we always thinking, and we're drinking, and we're all about winning and winning. That's how the hook was supposed to be, originally was, but I changed it up a little bit and made it, great for people to vibe out to. So it's more of like, this is a party song. It's for people to play at the club, at family gathering or friend gathering, and just enjoy living life on the weekend. Because everybody loves to party and drink. Everybody loves to do that. So it's like, what about making a song about living life to the fullest and taking risks and partying all night? So I just thought it was cool to make a song for the people. I'm not making songs for just for those type of people, but it was a cool vibe and I loved it. It was great. Shout out to CJ for engineering it, and shout out to some Sound Buddy Studios for that too as well. Yo, this is Mes Geo, the Prince of the 814, and you guys just watched my prospect interview. Please be on the lookout for the Prince of the 814 mixtape dropping in March of 2022, hosted by Daily Dose Music 106.7 and mixed by DJ Master Mes. You guys will be ready for this mixtape.
Support anyone who's on the come up, though. If you got problems, make sure you're down for war. Cause you will get killed by a guy named Jimmy George. That's a motherfucking prince. My music.